Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet. Wait a minute, I tell you. You ain't heard nothing.
Of all the eras of film that exist, one of my favorites is the early sound era. That bit of time from 1928 to 1930 when sound was getting its foothold. But recently I came across a video, or a comment, I don't remember, as I can't find it anymore, where someone stated, sound films slowed film progression down by 10 years. That caught me off guard because having seen many films from those years, it's basically a biased claim. So I looked into it a little more and found some others stating that due to soundproof boxes that were used at the time, film language was held back a bit. But was it really? Of course, sound in film had been experimented with since the beginning when Thomas Edison produced the first sound film. Over the years, other processes came about, usually being a variation of a record player synced with the film, but those were faulty and didn't always work. Then in 1923, Fox Movietone created sound on film, but that ran the risk of awkward sound editing due to having a single sound strip. So many silent films would record music and sound effects to a single strip instead of dialogue. But that all changed when the jazz singer came about and revolutionized the business.
Toot toot tootsie, goodbye. Toot toot tootsie, don't cry.
But did sound films stall the industry for 10 years? As mentioned before, early sound was a bit of a pill. The microphones would pick up the smallest of noises, so the cameras had to be put in soundproof boxes, which limited their movements. So instead of shots like this, you'd get shots like this. But interestingly enough, you could get shots like this. Plus, you'd also have issues pertaining to where to put the microphone. It was usually hidden on the set somewhere until sound equipment was improved. Editing sound film was also a bit of a drag at the time, so they would film their scenes like live television, so a single soundtrack could be played throughout the shot.
Hello, Z.
Come on, kiss me, Mrs. Old.
Dialogue scenes would also be minimally edited, sometimes presented like a stage play with a single uncut shot going for several minutes.
Well, goodbye, Nellie. Hey, put that coat in mothballs and pinned on the blue dress that's hanging in the closet. Well, goodbye. Goodbye. Take care of your rheumatism and don't eat too much meat.
Oh, get him.
Hey, don't let the cat out at night and be sure and cover up birds' nests.
Note the actress that is out of frame. One review from 1928 chastised the sound in the movie On Trial. A forum I read stated that a scene in which a lawyer is deliberating goes on for way too long and stays as a long shot for the entire time. But did all these issues cause a stalemate? Well, it would seem that way, but there is an old saying, it isn't the equipment that makes good art, it's the talent behind the equipment. So it's safe to say that directors unaccustomed to sound film would take the easy way out and only film the easiest of scenes, Why worry about film editing when you could just shoot a single uncut scene?
You know, Eddie, we're wasting our time in a burg like this. Now, you take Kitty Lewis, for instance. She took a chance, went to New York City, and she's doing fine. Well, since they built that big hotel over there across the street, well, your hotel's not even making expenses.
So yes, many early dialogue scenes were rather static and didn't adhere to sound film language. But hold on. Let's look at a dialogue scene from a silent film. It's a long shot, broken up by some close-ups. Not too much different from sound film, so wasn't much of a departure. And as early as 1929, filmmakers began to experiment with sound, as in that same year, the soundproof camera blimp was invented, allowing the camera to move again. Like today, independent individuals were usually the ones to break the mold, like Hal Roach, who experimented with sound speed and post-dubbing.
Chubby, make that funny noise again, will you? Huh?
Sure I will. I'm a crazy goblin, and I'll catch you
But you still had the issue of a single soundtrack that limited editing, as you would get noticeable jumps and sound changes. Multi-soundtrack editing wouldn't arrive until later, but technicians still had some tricks up their sleeves. 3 films I am aware of utilized sound experimentation that was years in advance: Hallelujah, Blackmail, and Chinatown Nights. All 3 utilized the current technology and even broke rules in order to achieve what would become the standard by 1933. True, many of the dialogue scenes in these films look much like the others.
The Lord don't make no mistakes, you understand? You can make a fool of Ezekiel, but you can't make fun of the Lord while Ezekiel is around. And I'm going to make you respect him.
Oh, good evening. Sorry to disturb you. About this note, did he leave me a message?
No, he wouldn't leave any message.
Have you seen him before?
Yes, the same gent would call you several times.
Come clean, or I'm going to take you back and give you the steam. Talk up now. All right, talk. Come on, let it out. Can't you speak? Talk up. Don't you hear what I'm saying to you? Confound you, can't you hear what I'm saying to you? Can't you understand what I'm saying to you? Now speak English. Get inside. Lay off, Murphy. You'll never get nowhere with the Chinaman. Wait a minute, boys. Wait a minute.
But all 3 used post-dubbing at a time when others used dubbing sparingly. Remember, at this time, studios made the same films 3 or 4 times in different languages for overseas release.
¿Estás seguro que tu mamá y tu papá se llamaban Laurel?
Seguro que sí. ¿Por qué?
Hammer. Isn't deine Eltern auch Laurel?
Ja, warum?
Hast du sonst noch verbunden? Wo bist du geboren?
Film dubbing for other languages wouldn't come around until the 40s. Blackmail and Chinatown Nights were initially shot silent and then had dialogue scenes added later. Hitchcock had music and sound recorded for the already silent scenes and then reshot the dialogue scenes with sound. Hallelujah did the exact same thing, but shot some dialogue scenes silent and then had the actors post-dub.
I'm having a good time today. Really,
Every time where I go, you come follow along behind me.
This was even used for scenes where they didn't have access to the microphone, utilizing Foley. But Chinatown Nights took the biggest risk. Most of the film had already been shot silent, and then they decided that it should be a sound film. Instead of reshooting scenes for sound, they post-dubbed the majority of the film, having the actors, Foley artists, and musicians all in the same room doing the sound at the same time, in what I can assume to be the first dubbed film in history.
Now, Joan, I resent your doing that.
And I resent men who don't know the difference between a limousine and a Pullman sleeper.
Eventually, by the mid-1930s, crude sound mixing came into play, and it eventually blossomed into what we know today. So no, sound film didn't freeze the industry. Lack of ambition technically did, as we still see with Hollywood today being afraid to step out of its box for fear of losing money. So yes, as I said earlier, the claim that sound films stalemated the industry is a biased claim, because if you watch enough of them, you can see how people didn't let themselves get boxed in. Just goes to show you that you have to have the right mind behind the scenes in order to actually get something done that could progress things farther than most people are willing to go. I'm the Cinema Fanatic. I'll see you next time.